Hello viewers, welcome to Mishti's Ideas. My name is Mishti and today it's pizza time. I will show you how you can make homemade gourmet style thin crust pizza from scratch. For this we need some whole wheat flour and some durum flour. First I'm going to add 1 cup of whole wheat flour and 2 cups of durum flour. Now durum flour is usually used to make pasta, but you can definitely make thin crust pizza from this as well. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt to the flour. And after that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now, sugar helps the yeast to rise, so it's very important to add this to the ingredients. And then also to make the dough tastier, I will add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning to the dough mix as well. Next, I'm going to add 1 packet of instant quick rise yeast. Because this is instant, I don't have to soak it in water beforehand. So you just add it directly to the dry ingredients and make sure you mix everything properly. I will add 1 cup of lukewarm water at this point. It's very important to have the right temperature for the water. Do not add it if it's too hot or too cold, then your dough will not rise properly. So it's important to make sure that the water is lukewarm. And also after you have the dough all mixed up, make sure you rest it in a warm spot so that it rises properly. So after I added the water, I'm just mixing it. I haven't started kneading it yet. I will add about 1 tablespoon of oil at this point. If you like your pizza to be a bit more oily, like crust wise, then you can add more oil at this point, but I don't, so I'm just using 1 tablespoon at this point. Now, as I start to knead the dough, I like to add a little bit of oil in my palm so that they don't get stuck to my hand that much, and just work through the dough for about 5-7 minutes. Make sure it forms to a nice ball, and then right before you put it away, just kind of put some oil around it, and then cover it up, cover the bowl with some plastic wrap, and then, like I said, rest it in a warm spot for at least 2 hours, maximum I would say 8 hours, so it rises nicely. So here we go, our dough is ready for resting. Now it's been about 4 hours and I am ready to make the pizza. Because this is durum and whole wheat flour, don't expect the dough to be doubling up in sizes. It'll just be fluffier but not as much of a rise like when you use regular flour. So keep that in mind. And next I'm going to divide the dough into 2 parts so you can make 2 10-inch thin crust pizza from 3 cups of flour. Main idea here is, as I start rolling, is to make the dough as uniform as possible. For a 10-inch pizza pan, I will have to use about 11-inch for the the dough itself as I roll it. So that's the measurement, because they will shrink as they bake. So just make it a little bit bigger than the pan itself. And as you roll it, make sure that the size or the thickness is as uniform as possible. Otherwise they don't cook as well. So just those are the only 2 things to keep in mind as you are rolling the dough. And here we go, the dough is ready and it's the right size, so I will now transfer it to my pizza pan. Before you put it in the pan, put a little bit of oil around the pan on the bottom and the corners so that when you take the pizza out it doesn't stick, and also it gives a nice little crunch on the bottom of the pan as it bakes. And now it's ready for the topping. So I'm just going to use some basic toppings here. This is the part where your kids can help you, or anybody else, whoever wants to make pizza, they can help you. I will use about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste for the pizza. So I sometimes add some extra salt or ground pepper at this point just to make it more delicious. You could even add green chilies, whatever, whichever way you want to customize it. That's totally cool. Usually I like certain combinations. So for this particular pizza, I'm going to use some ground meat, some mushrooms, some greens, and some bell peppers. And then I will use Thousand Island sauce on top. I use barbecue sauce, and again, the ground meat I actually cooked it at home, and I sometimes freeze them after I cook them so that I can make a quick pizza during the weekdays. Um, so here you go. I'm just putting some dressing on top of the meat to give it that extra zing, and then just add remaining of the ingredients. And this is the last part where I'm just going to add some mozzarella cheese. So you can really control how much cheese you want to put. We don't like a lot of cheese on our pizza, so I use about, I would say, 2/3 of a cup of grated mozzarella cheese here. And based on what type of cheese you like, you can also customize it accordingly. Now, because it's ready, I will bake it at 450 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. This is the best combination I have seen, is where the bottom cooks perfectly and the top gets just enough broiled. And there you go. Our homemade thin crust pizza is ready to be served. It tastes amazing. It looks amazing. So I hope you will enjoy it just as much as we do. So bon appetit. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and be ready to have a lot of fun.